today's homework that's being sent home, there is 5 questions. Again, we have these 5 questions. We practice them daily in class, but we do want to reinforce it at home as well. So I do want to help get you set up on each question. Of course, if your student already knows how to do it, they can double check their work this way. We have the student enrollment of Big Spring ISD greater than, bigger than the enrollment of Sharyland ISD that has an enrollment of 26,843. So we know Sharyland has 26,843. We know Big Spring ISD is greater than that. But it is also less than, smaller than the enrollment of Mission ISD that has an enrollment of 34,831. The enrollment of Big Spring ISD also has a clue. It has a digit in the thousands place value that's greater than 2. We want to know which could be the student enrollment. And right here on the homework that was sent home, there is a typo. It should say which number could be the student enrollment of Big Spring ISD. So cross out Amarillo. I don't know why Amarillo is on our mind. Go ahead and fill that in with Big Spring ISD. So here we know that we're working with 5 digits or 5 place values. Whenever we're talking about place values, we plug that into our place value chart. So we have our ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, and our 10,000 place. When we plug in each of these answer choices of A, B, C, and D into our place value chart, we can go ahead and eliminate enrollments that do not follow our clues up there at the top of that problem. So if we're looking for Big Spring ISD, I noticed that clue at the very end, Big Spring ISD has to have a digit. A digit is any number 0 through 9. Has to have a digit in the thousands place that's greater than 2. Well, that's a pretty easy clue to follow. So I'm going to go to my thousands place. So I'm looking in this area right here. And I can eliminate, cross out any of these digits that's not greater than 2. Well, 3 is greater than 2, but 1 is not. So I'm going to cross out B. It's not in the running. 5 is greater than 2, and 3 is greater than 2. We are done with that clue. We also know that Big Spring ISD is greater than 26,843. So when we take a look at A, 23,000 is not greater than 26,000, so we can eliminate A. When we go down to C, 35,000 is greater than 26,000. When we go down to D, 33,000 is greater than 26,000. So we're done with that first clue. Well, we know that Big Spring ISD has an enrollment less than, smaller than 34,831. So when we go down to our answer choices that are left, 35,000 is not less than 34,000. We would cross that off. That leaves us with D. So let's go through and check and see if it fits all of the clues. Does 33,749 have a digit in the thousands place that's greater than 2? Yes. Is our number 33,749 greater than 26,843? Yes. And is our number 33,749 less than, smaller than 34,831? Yes, so then our enrollment of Big Spring ISD is D. Number 2, Wendy put 6 beans on each of 8 plates. So we've been taught in class if we don't see a stimulus or a picture, we'll draw it. Well, 8 plates, I know that a plate is usually in the shape of a circle, so I know that I can draw 8 plates. Wendy put 6 beans on each of 8 plates. Oh, so every single plate needs to have 6 beans each. We can mark that with tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each plate, every single plate needs 6 beans. What is the total number of beans on these plates? Well, we recognize this as repeated addition. We know that repeated addition is multiplication. What we're doing is we're adding 6 plus 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 6. We're adding 6 8 times. Oh, so we have 6 beans on each plate. We have 8 plates. We're doing 6 8 times, so 6 times 8. And of course, our total number of beans is our total number of tally marks. So your student can go ahead and figure out the product of 6 times 8. On number 3, we have a table with information. We're given the title as Texas 2014 populations. We're given the categories as the Texas town and also the population, the amount of people that live in that town. Here, right off the bat, we should notice that there's ones, tens, hundreds, and a thousands place. So we can plug in our place value chart right above it. We want to know which list shows the towns, not the numbers. Which list shows the towns in order from greatest to least? So we're going from the smallest to the biggest. Well, our answer choices isn't by number, but it's by towns. Well, when we take a look, we have 5 towns, so we can draw 5 blanks. And we're going in order greatest to least. Now, when we're talking about greatest to least, we're using place value. We start at our biggest place value. So in this case, we're looking at our thousands place. We have 8 thousands going all the way down. We'll go to our next place value. We have a 1, 4, 0, 9, and 9. Well, we know that the 9s are the greatest, so let's just take a look at these last 2 right here. The 7s are also the same, and then we have a 6 and a 9. Well, we know that 9 is the greatest. Okay, we want to know which town does that belong to? Belongs to Sandia. And I can go ahead and cross that off. Well, right off of the bat, I know that C and D have Sandia, but A and B do not, so we can cross those off. Whenever we were comparing these last 2, well then that makes my next greatest number as Mission with 8,976, so we can plug that in. Again, when we take a look at our answer choices, I see that C does not have Mission next. We can eliminate it. Let's go ahead and fill in the rest of our blanks and make sure that they have the rest of them in order. We have 8 thousands, and now we have a 1 and a 4 and a 0. Well, 4 is my next greatest number belonging to Corpus Christi. We're only down to 2 towns, 2 populations. We have Orange Grove with 8,190. We have Sweetwater with 8,001. Of course, at our thousands place, our 8s match. Our next greatest number, 1 is greater than 0, 1 belonging to 8,190, belonging to Orange Grove. So we'll plug that in. When we take a look at our answer choices, Orange Grove is next. We're going to go ahead and cross that off. That makes our smallest population. Our smallest number with this given set of numbers is 8,001. 8,001 belonging to Sweetwater. So then the only reasonable answer choice that we have here is D. All right, when we take a look at number 4, we do have a stimulus. We do have a picture drawn out. Now that picture is not all the way filled in, but we'll read that story. We'll see what's going on there. He puts golf balls in buckets when they're not being used. The diagram, the picture shows the number of golf balls that the caddy placed in the first bucket and the remaining buckets, the buckets that are left, to be filled. If the golf caddy puts the same number of golf balls in the remaining buckets, we need to figure out what is the total number of the golf balls in these 3 buckets. Well, if our question is what is the total for all 3 buckets, let's go ahead and take a look at what's already in our diagram. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 golf balls in that first caddy. When I take a look at my answer choice, 7 golf balls is an answer choice. But is that the total number of golf balls in all 3 buckets? No, because it said up here at the top they filled up the rest of the buckets with the same amount. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and go to this next bucket and plug in another 7. Okay, so we have 7 plus another 7. Well, I know that that's 14. We have 14 as an answer choice. That's just for 2 buckets. We need all 3, so we're going to go ahead and cross off 14. We're going to fill in that last remaining bucket with 7 golf balls. Well, we know that we have 7 here. So we have 7 plus 7 plus 7, or we have 7 3 times. So if we go ahead and count up all of our golf balls, or if we take our 14 plus 7 more, we know that we have 21 golf balls in those 3 buckets. On number 5, we have which number is the same as, so which number is equal to 4 10,000s, 9 1,000s, 2 10s, 5 10s, and 3 1s. Here we're talking about place value. So we've been taught how to make our place value chart. 1s, 10s, 100s, 1000s. I'm going to go up to 10,000 since that's what the problem went up to. And then we'll plug in the digit in the correct place value. Well, I noticed that we have 3 1s. So I'm going to go to my 1s place, plug in a 3. We'll take a look at this next part for 10s. We have 2 10s and 5 more 10s. Well, if I have 2 10s and 5 10s, 2 plus 5 more, I actually have 7 10s. So I go to my 10s place, plug in a 7. I have a value of 70. Okay, well now I'm looking for my hundreds. When I go back and read my problem, it has 10,000s and 1,000s and 10s and 1s. It doesn't talk about hundreds. I have none. So I'm going to plug in a 0. Now our 1,000s place value, we have a digit of 9. In our 10,000s place value, we have a digit of 4. So we say our number as 49,073. All right, if you have any other questions from this video, go ahead and shoot me a message on class tag. Hopefully this helped. We will have 5 more questions tomorrow, and I believe on Thursday as well, that are very similar to what we worked on today. Thank you and have a good night.